Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2 and I'm back with a brand new What If. What if Naruto was trained by Beerus and Whis to become a god of destruction? Yes guys, he's gonna become the god of destruction of his own world. So yeah, Naruto's gonna be trained by the Angel and the Destroyer. This is gonna be entertaining, so sit back, relax, and I hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them which I post what if I never sing a day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And also guys, don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because I do post a hell of a lot. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. Naruto Uzumaki was pinned down to the ground, black rods in his hands and legs. Naruto had returned home to see his village destroyed by the Akatsuki leader Pain. As Naruto had the advantage, but the Rinnegan was just too much for him to handle. Pain was about to capture him. However, Hinata Hyuga stepped in to save his life as he screamed at her to leave, to run, but she did not, as she stood no chance. Pain held on to the black rod. Now, you shall witness true pain. Hinata's eyes slowly locked with Naruto. Naruto-kun, she said, I love you. Naruto's eyes widened to hear that from her. He looked up towards Pain. Don't do it, he yelled. However, Pain did not even spare him a glance. Blood flashed in front of Naruto's vision as he saw Hinata was pierced. His eyes were blank. Hinata, the girl that put her life on the line to save him. The girl that just said that she loved him. He killed her. He killed her. Inside the mindscape, the fox was grinning from ear to ear. Now it was time for him to release his chakra. Now it was time for him to... The fox was cut off as a bright white energy appeared in the mindscape and started to push the corrosive chakra back. The fox was shocked and angry. Shocked that the boy was somehow doing this. Angry that nothing he seemed to do was able to stop this white energy. In the outside world, Pain, you heartless bastard! Naruto roared as Naruto felt a rage inside of him. A rage that he's never felt. The sky started to be covered by grey clouds. Blue lightning struck through the air, striking down below, destroying the earth. Pain stepped back as the rods started to be pulled out of Naruto's body on their own. Pebbles started to fly up around Naruto. The earth started to break apart. Pain couldn't understand. Was this the power of the Kyubi? As Naruto rose to his feet, You'll pay for that, he yelled. Lightning struck around him violently as Naruto's hair started to change from blue to white, his eyes turning from a blue to a silver color as Naruto grit his fist hard before he raised his head to the heavens and screamed. A thunderous roar came from his mouth as his hair turned completely white. Pain had to close his eyes because of all the energy. Once it died down though, he was able to witness what was standing there. A light seemed to shine from the heavens itself down on Naruto. His coat was destroyed. He was wearing his chain mesh shirt underneath. The right sleeve was destroyed. However, there was an aura, a white pulsating aura around him, pulsating with unrivaled power. His hair and eyebrows were white, as a few bangs covered his forehead. His eyes then snapped open They were a bright silver as he glared at Pain. What is this? This is not the power of the Kyubi. This is something else, said Pain. Naruto disappeared. Pain blinked as his body was in mid-air. As the pain from Naruto burying his fist into his stomach. Meanwhile, Nagato, who was controlling the main body, was shocked as he jumped back. Not literally, but pulling back in his mechanical walker. What's wrong? Konan said, moving towards him. The Kyubi Jinjulki. He's transformed. Into the Kyubi? No. It's something else. Back on the battlefield, Pain looked up as Naruto was above him. Several hard punches to the face. Naruto then dropped his heel in Pain's stomach. A sonic boom seemed to clear through the sky. Pain's body hit the ground at sonic collision as the entire place shook by the force. The Konoha ninjas who were off to the side watched the whole scene as they were seeing lightning pulsating throughout the village, striking everywhere. What's going on? Sakura said as she looked toward the summoning slug. It's Naruto-san. He's changed. Pain was stabbed by Hinata. She's still alive, but hurt. She needs medical attention. Quickly, the slug said, as Sakura rushed off to find her as quickly as possible. Seeing that the battlefield had been moved, as Naruto had hit Pain so hard he was sent flying. As everyone saw the majestic white aura. Who was that? Wait, was he flying? Pain mustered up all the chakra he could as quickly as possible as Naruto was coming. Almighty push, he said. Naruto was blasted out of the sky, sent tumbling as he smashed into a gigantic boulder. However, Naruto pulled himself out with not even a scratch. As he got back to his feet, Pain stood there, disbelief, shock. He couldn't understand what was his power. Pain knew that he had no choice, he had to do it. As Nagato pumped his chakra out, as Naruto started to slowly walk towards him, lightning cackling all around him. As Pain brought his hand together, Shibaku no Tensei, he said, releasing a small ball to the heavens. As he clapped his hand and started to pump more chakra, the ground started to be ripped apart. The entire place was being lifted up. It was a good thing that Sakura had got Hinata and move away. The place was being torn apart. Everything was being brought up to the heavens. As he saw Naruto jumping down towards him, he raised his hand, releasing more chakra. Back at the tree, Nagato coughed up blood violently. You have to stop. If you don't, you're going to die. Konan yelled at him. I can't stop now, said Nagato, as he spat up blood violently and released another almighty push, slamming Naruto right on the boulder. He screamed out as the power fluctuated heavily, more boulders crashing on Naruto violently, crushing his body into the satellite. Pain panted as he looked up. It's finally over. However, light started to shine through the cracks. The little moon started to rumble. Pain looked up in disbelief when boom! The whole thing exploded. Impossible, Pain said, shocked beyond disbelief, as Naruto stood there in mid-air, unfazed. Naruto held his hand up to the heaven. A white energy ball started to grow. This is for all the suffering you have caused, and the life that you have destroyed. As Naruto yelled and released the energy, Pain tried to absorb it by switching, trying to use the pre-path abilities. However, to his shock, his arms were blown clean off. Nagato couldn't believe it as everything went black. The body was reduced to ashes. Once it was done, Naruto landed on the ground calmly. As he looked off in the distance, he could sense the energy. He could sense it. He bent his knees before blasting off at blinding speeds. Meanwhile, with the Konoharukis and the Jonins, they were shocked. The attack didn't only kill Pain, it created a gigantic crater in the ground. As Sakura was healing Hinata, he did it. He defeated the last Pain. Katsuya said. I knew he could, Kiba said, as Akamaru barked in agreement. Hinata was finally awake. A proud smile on her face. Naruto-kun, she said. Where's he going now, Neji asked. He's heading deep within the forest. Why would he go there, everyone thought. As for Naruto, he was looking around, as he was pinpointing the engine. Right here. Naruto pulled his hand back and thrust it into the tree, but his hand passed through it rather simply, showing that it was none other than paper. As he then tore it open, as he first saw the woman and then the man inside of the strange contraption. Just as I suspected, Pain was just a puppet, and you're the one behind the strings, Naruto said. Yes, I am the one behind Pain. I am Nagato, Nagato said, introducing himself. Well, I hope you're ready to pay for your sins, because I will not be merciful, said Naruto as he stepped forward, rage in his eyes. Pain fired a spear right towards Naruto's guts. However, Naruto reached and caught it, before throwing it as it burst right through the tree. Konan shot forward, however, she punched and Naruto was gone. She then felt a kick in her back that slammed her into the ground. As Naruto picked her up by the back of her neck, Konan, Nagato said. Naruto looked towards him in anger. Now do you see how it feels when you see your friends in pain? You went so far. You killed my senseis. You attacked my home. And what you did to Hinata. Holding out his hand, a white energy ball started to form. As Naruto was getting more and more angrier, in fact he could not control his rage. However, wise words of Jiraiya rushed through his head. The cycle of hatred could never be over if it continued. By the ones from the past into the future. As Naruto did not move, Nagato looked at him as he pulled his arms out of the mechanical walker. Why? Said Naruto. Why did you do this? You ask me why. Are you trying to understand me, Ninetales? Yes, I am. So tell me why, said Naruto. Nagato looked at him and looked at Konan. Very well, he said to him. And he told Naruto everything. His parents being killed by Konoha shinobis, awakening the Rinnegan, meeting Yaiko, Konan, learning under Jiraiya, Yaiko, forming the Akatsuki to bring peace, Hanzo, and Danzo and his route, the hostage situation where he was forced to kill Yaiko, and his goal to stop all suffering in the world through pain. The ball of energy in Naruto's hand fade away. His hair returned back to normal. His eyes returned back normal as well. Now you see my reason for my actions. The reason I become who I am, the reason why I did this, Nagato said. I know about Jiraiya Sensei's idea for peace. But in reality, there will be time that peace will break and war will start. There will be a time when you will lose a comrade, and all we can do is endure the pain, to remind us of what we lost, and for it to never happen again, Naruto continued. As Nagato looked at him, as he shouted, what if you were to go to war, and you had to kill just to protect your village? Can you shoulder that burden, knowing you had to kill a brother, a father, a sister, a mother? As Naruto's eyes were closed, before he opened them. Yes, I will. If I were not to, it would make me inhuman. But as long as I, Naruto Uzumaki, is still drawing breath, I will stop any threat that will try to harm the time of peace, even if it kills me, said Naruto. Nagato saw something that he thought he would never see again as he looked into those eyes. Something that he didn't expect in the slightest, as he looked toward this boy in front of him. This boy that has shown power to even rival his own and surpass it. This boy was something else. This boy had what he was looking for. And maybe, just maybe he could go on where he failed. As Nagato chuckled, for the first time in a very, very long while, Konan was even surprised by that. Naruto Uzumaki, I am glad that I met you, he said as he brought his hands together. Outer path. Nagato, no, Konan said. Konan, I'm glad that I met you and Yaiko as well. You now carry his legacy in you. Please, raise him well. Nagato said as his breathing was slowing down. Uzumaki Naruto, before I leave, you must know. The true leader of the Akatsuki is a man in the orange mask. Stop him, by all means. I've entrusted to you my vision of peace, because I believe you, Naruto Uzumaki, can do what I fail to do. I believe in you. Samsara of Heavenly Life Technique, he said, as his chakra poured out. As Naruto stood there and watched. What is he doing, he said, looking towards Konan. Nagato is a seventh path. He's reviving back the people that he has taken. Naruto was surprised to hear that, never thinking that the Rinnegan could actually do something like that. However, that brought him much relief. That means they will come back. He watched as Nagato died. However, he heard something that Nagato said. You carry his legacy. Please raise him well. As he glanced towards Konan, and Naruto felt it in her stomach, as he now understand what he meant. It was also Yaiko ideals. Despite it not being his, it was his ideals. Now he understood. As Konan took his body from the mechanical walker, as she wrapped him up in papers. What will you do now? Said Naruto. I will bury Nagato. Know that the Akatsuki is over. Why don't you come and stay in Konoha? Said Naruto. I'm sure I can talk to Bachan and letting you stay. Besides, I can't let you roaming around with that masked man hunting you. Knowing that you're pregnant, said Naruto. As she looked down, so he figured that out. She knew that sooner or later, Madara would come back and he would try to, well, get the Rinnegan. Something that she wouldn't allow. However, she had a plan for him, but she didn't want to risk it. She didn't want, as she looked towards her stomach. There was nowhere else that she would be safe. After hearing what Nagato said, after feeling the power for herself, she was sure. Okay, she said. But please, let me bury Nagato first, she said, as Naruto nodded. Meanwhile, at Grand Zeno Palace, 2 of the 12 God of Destructions were sweating bullets as they were nervous as they stood in front of an alien child who sat on a throne. He was very short and small as well, with an oval-shaped head, sky blue skin except for 2 sections of his eyes, which are purple that came from his head coming down. He has small, round eyes, and small grey ears. He was wearing a magenta, yellow and white coat with yellow pants and magenta shoes. This was Zeno-sama, king of all 12 universe, the Omni King. The 2 God of Destructions were both cats. They were purple. One of them were fat and the other one was much skinnier. The God of Destruction of the 7th universe, Beerus, and the God of Destruction of the 6th universe, Champa. And standing to their side was their angel, Whis and Vados, both of them being brothers and sisters. The Grand Priest was also there as well, as he stood beside Zeno. Welcome friends, and thank you all for coming. Zeno-sama has made a grand discovery, deep between the northern and southern section galaxy. The Grand Minister spoke up. Shouldn't the Kais be informed about this first, Grand Minister? Whis asked. Yes, the energy though that Zeno-sama has felt. It appeared out of nowhere. I was able to trace it back to a surprising era that we have not heard anything from in centuries. Universe Zero. The angels were surprised, however the gods of destructions, they were confused. They never heard of a Universe Zero before. But Grand Minister, Vado said, didn't the both of those rays perish? Yes, but it seems one has survived. A majestic Saiyan. Both of the God of Destruction looked at each other confused. They never heard of a majestic Saiyan. In fact, they only heard of their own Saiyan in their universe. So they had no idea what was going on. We follow the engine leading towards a place known as the Elemental Nation, which are ruled by ninjas, or as they call themselves, shinobis. Just like the other energies, they possess a similar one. However, they call it Chakra. The village known as Konoha was being attacked by a man known as Pain, who claimed to be a god. A young boy named Naruto Uzumaki fought against him. Pain was able to subdue him. However, in an act of seeing someone that he cherished fall in front of his eyes, the boy's powers awakened, Grand Minster said, as he raised his hand and an image appeared. Beerus and Champa watched as they saw everything. As they saw Naruto transform into the majestic Saiyan. White hair, silver eyes, and a white aura. They've never heard of anything like that before. The destroyers were impressed by the power. Whis was now interested in this boy, and Vadus looked at him. He looked like a well-strung young man. As they saw how fast the battle ended after that, the power increase was dramatic. The Grand Minster then spoke up. Now, I know the both of you have questions about this, so I shall explain. Years ago, in Universe Zero, there were two Saiyan races, the regular Saiyans and the majestic Saiyans. The majestic Saiyans were the strongest of all Saiyans. They live on their own planet Sadala, but the regular Saiyans had conflict with them, since they were jealous of their power, and war broke out between the two. That ended the both of them. Zeno-sama's plan was to have a majestic Saiyan become the god of destruction of Universe Zero. However, because of the war and the chaos, Zeno-sama changed his mind, and he was no longer interested. Zeno then spoke up. However, this one is strong, he said, and I have dubbed him God of Destruction of Universe Zero. The gods were surprised by that, as the Grand Minster nodded with a smile. As you can see, Zeno-sama wished for the boy to be a god of destruction. However, he lacked the knowledge of it. This is why Zeno-sama is giving you, too, the opportunity to train the boy, since you both have Saiyans of your own, but only one of you can be chosen. Both of the god of destruction turned, as they glare at each other. Now then, the Grand Minster said, gain their attention. Champa-san, why do you think you should train the boy to become the god of destruction? The Grand Priest asked. Champa stepped forward as he proceeded to bow. Grand Minster, he said, after watching the boy's power, I have no doubt I would be a perfect candidate to train him, since I have trained some of the strongest fighters in my universe, including a couple of Saiyans, with the strongest in Universe 6 being Hit the Assassin and Khalifa, the female Saiyan. They would be a perfect challenge for him to grow stronger. The Grand Minster nodded before he turned towards Beerus. Beerus-san, he said, why do you think that you should train this new god of destruction? Beerus stepped forward as he bowed. Grand Minster, he said, the boy is no doubt powerful. He may have potential to be a god of destruction. As for why I should train him, I have recently taken on two Saiyans by the name of Goku and Vegeta under me. They are the most powerful fighters in Universe 7. They both have achieved a form beyond Super Saiyan called Super Saiyan Blue. With their help, they can push the boy beyond his limits and further. The Grand Minster nodded as he turned towards Zeno, who was pondering over the choices. As he waited, Zeno then spoke up. You both have made excellent reasons. Therefore, my choice is Beerus, he said, with a smile on his face. Champa was livid, as Zeno had gave this, little mission personally, and yet he failed to get it. To be in good grace with Zeno-sama, just in case anything catastrophic might happen in the universe, and what happened in the past happened again, with the other universes being erased, but he failed to get it. Damn Beerus, he thought. However, he kept himself calm to not show that he was easy to rile up, which on the inside he was boiling with rage toward his brother. I hope you don't make me regret my decision, Beerus, said Zeno. His tone was actually serious as Beerus started to sweat. He bowed his head. I won't let you down, Zeno-sama, he said. You have my word. As the Grand Minster excused them after that. As both Beerus and Whis was making their way, Beerus spoke. Whis, why have I never been informed about a majestic Saiyan? Beerus asked, annoyed. To be fair, Beerus-sama, you would never have known to ask me. And the Grand Minister said that they all died off a long time ago in the war, so you'd have never known. As Beerus grinned to himself though, if this worked out in his favor, this boy might push Goku and Vegeta and they might push him in turn. And finally, he could have a challenge that he was looking for ever since he had that dream. Once again, he could feel his blood pumping. The last time he enjoyed himself so much when he was fighting Goku. And that was a long time ago. And he was itching for a good fight. How long will it take to get there? 5 minutes and 42 seconds exactly. Good. I hate long rides. Take us there, Whis. As you wish. Meanwhile, at Konoha, it's been 2 days since Pain attacked on Konoha. As they start to rebuild their home, their shops, and other places. Naruto Uzumaki, or as people call him now, the savior of Konoha, walked down the street. As he checked the places out, he had been greeted by many thanks from many of the adult folks, and even some of the teenage females, and including the older ones. They were flirting with him. Kids rushed up to him and said that they want to be like him when they grow up. As Naruto gave them his trademark smile and told them to work hard and never give up. However, Naruto noticed that he had changed physically as well. His hair had grown longer and his muscles had grown as well. He also felt stronger as he arrived towards the area. Despite Jiraiya not dying here, they had gave him a tombstone. As Naruto knelt in front of the grave, Jiraiya Sensei, the Toad Sage, he smiled sadly as he looked at the grave, even though he and Jiraiya was always at each other's throats. As Naruto chuckled dryly as he remembered when Jiraiya stole his money to go and spend on the ladies, and he ended up attacking him. However, he was weak back then, so he could not really do Jiraiya anything. But he did get his revenge though, and it was hilarious. Jiraiya was peeping on a few girls in a tree, so he had climbed up behind him. Jiraiya did not think that he would do what he was gonna do. As Naruto pushed him right in the hot spring, the girls ended up beating the crap out of him. It was rather hilarious. They spent 3 years together on the road. In those years, it was a bond that they share, like a father and son. Something he wished he had, but he never had that growing up. Yes, he had people close to him, but the bond that they shared on the road, it was free, happy. Naruto closed his eyes as he prayed. However, his eyes snapped open a moment later as he felt something appear behind him, out of nowhere. Naruto spun to see a tall blue cat, and beside him was a very tall man with a ring around his neck holding on to a staff. "Who are you?" said Naruto. As he looked at them, Whis bowed his head. "We mean no harm, Naruto-san. We come in peace," he said. Naruto tilted his head, his guard was up. "Who are you? And how do you know my name?" "As I said, Naruto-san, we come in peace. My name is Whis. I am the angel of Universe 7. Besides me is Beerus-sama, the god of destruction of Universe 7. Naruto looked at them like they were crazy. What was all that nonsense? Angel, god of destruction? As Naruto studied the cat, that is when he felt it. Something raw, something violent, something powerful inside of it. Naruto could tell that he was not pushing out chakra, but yet, what was his feeling? Even if he wanted to, he felt like he couldn't attack. What the hell was going on? As Beerus stepped forward, as we said, "I am the god of destruction. You can call me a destroyer for short. The reason why we're here is because of you." Hearing that, Naruto tensed up as he narrowed his gaze. They were here for him? Could this be a trick from the Akatsuki? Could these be new members? However, Whis tapped his staff on the ground, and Naruto found himself in a strange location. Before everything seemed normal once again, the whole world itself seemed to freeze. Naruto couldn't understand. The place was frozen. Looking around, what's going on? "Alright, I will begin to explain everything," we said, as he told Naruto about the god of destructions, and what they entail, the 12 gods, the 12 universe, and what the majestic Saiyan was. and the Saiyan War that eradicated all of them, well, almost all of them, a long time ago. Naruto's jaw dropped. As this guy was able to freeze everything, this was no normal chakra ability. Whatever this person was. Well, he did say that he was an angel. However, Naruto was able to find out something rather traumatic. He was not a human, he was a alien? Zeno-sama, who was interested in your abilities, has decided to make you the god of destruction of this universe. Universe Zero, said Whis. But Naruto was stunned, unable to even fathom what that entailed, as he looked toward the cat once again. However, the Grand Minister think that you lack the knowledge to be a destroyer. With Zeno-sama approval, we have been assigned to be your trainers. As Naruto looked towards him in shock, to be trained by a god and an angel. He had lost that fight with Nagato. There was no mistaking that. The moment Nagato had pinned him down with those rods, without the fox, he couldn't have escaped. And if it wasn't for his new majestic Saiyan mode, Super Saiyan to be exact, he would have lost because he could not move. As Naruto believed him, after being hit with this dose of reality of what actually was going on, yes, indeed he believed them. However, if that was the case, he need to get stronger. Stronger than ever, so that he can reach his full potential and protect his world from the threats that were looming on the horizon. Alright, he said. When do we start? Beerus grinned at that, liking that Naruto was eager to begin. Now will be the best time. Wait, said Naruto. I still have to check in with my friend and the Hokage. As Beerus looked at him, I don't know. I think we would be wasting time. Wait, tell me, he said, stepping forward. Do you have good food? As Naruto raised eyebrow at that, seems like this guy liked to eat. I know just the place, he said. Time skip. Ichiraku ramen. Most of the citizens were confused as they walked through the village. The ninjas thought that they were in a transformation state. So, you're saying this Ichiraku ramen has the best ramen ever, correct? Yeah, trust me. You're gonna love it, said Naruto. Ayama and Toki were taken aback when they had saw them, as Naruto had ordered 3 ramen specials, telling them that everything was alright. With that, they got the bowls. As Beerus had ramen before, so he didn't expect this to be. His eyes widened in shock as Beerus tasted it. As his lips started to quiver, his hands started to tremble. This is the best ramen ever, he said, acting a bit more cheerful and delight. I must say, Naruto-san, this is quite delightful, said Whis, as he scarfed down the ramen in a well-elegant manner. That is when Kiba arrived on the scene. As he was with Akamaru. There you are. The gang's been looking for you at... As Akamaru blinked, as Kiba followed his reaction, even the dog was shocked. Naruto? Is that a cat? Beerus' ears twitched at that, as a small amount of his energy was released from him, shocking the people nearby. Kiba stepped back in fright as there was a miniature earthquake. What the hell was that? I'm not sure. Maybe just an aftershock, Naruto guessed. As Kiba forgot the people and answered, Listen, Naruto, you got to know something. As Kiba told Naruto, Snaddy, she's in a coma. What? What about Shizune and Sakura? Can't they get her out? Sakura was the one that informed us. She and Shizune did all that they can, but they have no idea when she will wake up. As Naruto lowered his head at that, but Kiba was not done. There is more. The daimyo arrived. There's a meeting going on with the council right now. My mother told me about it. They're discussing the option of making someone Temper Hokage. She told me that there was this man known as Danzo Shamura. I noticed the way she said the name. I think that this guy is bad news. As Naruto got up and simply took off to find out what the hell was going on. Whis and Beerus finishing their food as they followed after him. Time skip, council room. A few important people, the elders and the clan heads and daimyo had gathered. With Snare out of action, a new Hokage must be declared. The daimyo said, "That is why The door burst open as the envoys quickly moved. However, it was none other than Naruto. "Naruto Uzumaki, you have no business being here," Koharu said. However, Naruto ignored the old woman, as he remembered what he was told by Nagato. Naruto clenched his fists. "Danzo Shamura, you're the one. You caused all these destructions. It's because of your action the Akatsuki is what it is today." As Naruto clenched his fist, his eyes turning silver for a brief moment. "Excuse me, young man, but who are you?" "Forgive me, Daimyo-sama," said Naruto, "for being rude and interrupting. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, the last student of Jiraiya the Toad Sage." "Ah, I see. So you're the famous Naruto Uzumaki everyone is speaking of. Tell me, how is it that Danzo-san here is responsible for the destruction of Konoha?" As Naruto told him, he told him what Nagato had said. Everyone in the room was shocked to hear that. Shikaku, on the other hand, he did not seem that shocked. He was a Jonin commander and him and Danzo never got along. In fact, he hated the man, knowing that he was always doing something conniving and corrupting. Danzo was fuming. As the daimyo spoke up, "These are very serious allegations. Tell me, Naruto-san, do you have any evidence of this?" The daimyo said, wanted to know if this was correct. If that was the case, after all, they could not appoint this man to be Hokage. That would put the village in bad fate after all. In a way, he kind of started this all. As Naruto did not have any physical evidence until, I may be able to help with that. As everyone turned to see the cat and the tall man enter. "Who are you? This is none of your business. You have no right to just walk in here and..." A large, fat civilian was talking and yelling at Beerus. He pointed two fingers towards a man who was irritating him slowly. The man's body started to break apart in purple particles. What's going on? What are you doing to me?" he screamed. We spoke up. It is not so wise to speak to Beerus-sama in such a tone. The fat man was then gone, erased. Everyone was shocked, beyond disbelief. Whis bowed his head. "Sorry for the rude interruption," he said. "Let me explain. My name is Whis. I'm an angel. And this is Beerus-sama, the god of destruction of Universe 7. The god of destruction, that name, surely shazzled everyone in there. As quickly but surely, they saw what that cat had did to the fat man. He destroyed him, erased. Danzo immediately started to use the Sharingan that was hidden to try and manipulate the destroyer. However, nothing happened. Daimyo-sama, I can testify to Naruto words. Observe, said Whis as he held out his staff. It was then that the meeting showed. The meeting that happened so long ago. Danzo was shocked when he saw himself, along with Hanzo, making a deal. The root envoys, making a deal to kidnap Konan. Yaiko's death and Nagato rage. All the clan heads snapped their head towards Danzo. The daimyo spoke. "Danzo Shamura, do you have anything to say for yourself?" For once in his entire life, Danzo was stumped. There was nothing that he could do here. Absolutely nothing. "I see. I will not be making you Hokage then." The daimyo said, his tone becoming cold. To know that, because of his actions, Konoha was now put in this state. With the mutual benefit and the progress between the two villages growing after one another, the Land of Fire and Konoha being the main source of firepower for the Land of Fire. And now the village was in this state. And it will cost just more money to rebuild. And this man was the one that caused it all with his actions. He got involved in something that he wasn't supposed to be involved with. But who will be the Hokage then? Homura said. "I may have a solution," said Whis. Time skip. Akatsuki hideout. Tobi, or aka Madara Uchiha, was sitting on a boulder. "So, Pain was defeated, huh?" Madara said as Zetsu nodded. "There is more. It seems the Jinchuriki did not use the Kyubi Chakra to defeat Pain." Madara glanced towards him. Explain. Zetsu told him everything that happened and the strange energy output. Now that threw Madara for a loop, as he didn't expect any of that. This was confusing. And what of the Hokage? They're still determining who it's gonna be, but it will most likely be Danzo, due to circumstances. Madara eye gleamed at that behind his mask. This is a perfect opportunity to start his plans. Konan is not coming back. We need another pawn to sync with the Gedo statue. Zetsu informed him. Madara remained silent for a moment, as he thought about his next move. He then glanced over as Kisame was standing there. Kisame, go after the Haxabi. I've got matters to attend to. Zetsu, make sure you monitor Konoha and the Kyubi Jinchuriki. Confirm that Danzo is indeed the Hokage, and find me when you're done, as he sucked himself away in a swirling vortex. Meanwhile, Konoha, as Naruto led Whis and Beerus toward the tent, where Tsunade was currently inside of, as she was in her old age, her seal being come undone, as Shizune was by her side. Shizune saw Naruto as she was shocked at the two people behind him. Shizune, don't worry, this is Whis. He's going to help Bachan, said Naruto. Whis walked forward as he held his scepter over Tsunade. It started to glow as her entire body was enveloped in a green light. Her skin started to fall back out, the wrinkles slowly vanishing right in front of their eyes, as her skin returned back to its normal color. As Tsunade groaned as she opened her eyes, Shizune got tears in her eyes as she leaped forward and hugged her master. As Tsunade blinked, seeing a blue-skinned man and a cat. As Naruto turned towards Whis, thank you, he said. Naruto, what's going on? Who are these two? As Naruto introduced them, Tsunade was just like how Naruto take it. She knew that Minato and Kushina were Naruto parents. However, to hear that he was a descendant from an alien race, well, that was just a lot. And with the king permission, Beerus-sama and I will train Naruto to be the god of destruction for Universe Zero. Shizune and Tsunade jaw dropped hearing that. Shizune, please tell me that you have some sake. Yes, Shizune said, as she was also mind blown. Good. Pour me a drink, said Tsunade. If you don't mind, I'll take a drink as well, said Beerus, as Shizune also poured him one. Tsunade drank the thing down in one swoop. He then started to sniff it before he drank it, which made him cough. Too strong, said Tsunade with a grin, making Whis giggle. As Beerus cleared his throat, anyway, moving on. I will teach the boy how to control his newfound power and the ways of a destroyer. As Naruto spoke up, Hokage-sama, he said, shocking Tsunade at how respectful he was being. However, she saw that he was dead serious. A lot happened while she was unconscious. There was more that you should know. As Naruto told her everything that revolved around the Akatsuki and what happened with Nagato, as she heard about the tail beasts out there being captured. I want to go, said Naruto. This is a huge opportunity for me to get stronger and learn how to control my new powers, so I can finish off the Akatsuki for good, said Naruto. Realizing the threat that was coming on them very soon, Tsunade took a breath even though she had no idea how long he was going to be going for. And once again he'll be going like how he went with Jiraiya. Alright, she said. I'll let you go. Before you go, I need to speak to the both of you, she said. Naruto, go find your friends and tell them that you're going on a secret training mission. No question answered. Naruto nodded as he left the tent. Once he was gone, what is the responsibility for a destroyer? Tsunade asks. A destroyer responsibility is to watch over their universe. Any danger or race that put their universe in danger, the destroyer must eliminate it, even if he or she has to wipe away a planet. Whis explained. Tsunade was shocked by that. From what they told her, she knew that they were powerful, but the way he so casually mentioned wiping away a planet like it was nothing. Yes, I can see from your reaction it does seem ruthless, but think of it. Is it not the same that many shinobis have done for many years now? Whis asks. They did not need to argue about that because it was dead true. All the nations were paranoid about power, like Kumo and the Hidden Stone. They fear the Uzumakis because of their fuinjutsu talent, so they destroy them. Naruto-san has the potential to be a god of destruction, one that I think this universe might need, said Whis. Snazzy looked down to her drink that Shizune had poured once again, as several thoughts were going through her head. As she asks, where will he be? He will be on my planet. Time flowed differently there. A week training will mean a day here. Snazzy was shocked to hear that, as she nodded, looking towards the two. Alright then, she said. Take care of him. However, her eyes hardened. I warn you, she said. If something bad happened to him, God of Destruction or not. As she left the threat hanging, Beerus looked at her. However, there was no fear in her eyes. Despite after revealing what they are, she was willing to stand up to him. No fear at all. As he grinned at that. He will be fine, Hokage-sama. I can assure you, said Whis. Time skip. Naruto was returning. He had spoken to his friends about the training mission. He had saw the hurt look on Hinata's face, as he promised her that he would return. As he caught up with Beerus and Whis, it was time for them to go. As Naruto promised that he will return stronger. Stronger than ever so that he can protect his universe. Protect any threats that might harm his planet. He will protect everyone, becoming the god of destruction and saving everything. He swore to Nagato that he will bring peace. And he will do so, no matter what. Time skip. Beerus' home planet. Whis was standing as he watched a scene in front of him. Two blurs fly past him as they clash against one another. As it was none other than Naruto and also Beerus, as they clashed against one another, trading blows. Naruto has learned quite a lot in a short amount of time. His speed has improved dramatically. When he first fought Beerus-sama, he used Sage Mode in order to keep up, but it was not enough. However, his majestic Super Saiyan, Whis could see it. The limitations for it are none. As he could not see a limitation at the moment, Naruto was growing higher and higher. The Saiyan instinct of the majestic Saiyans was on a different level than he expected. The more he used it, the more his body adapted. However, he was still nowhere close to pushing Beerus to any new level. Beerus was only using 3% of his power, but it was still impressive. Its majestic Saiyan form gave him a big boost in his power. However, Naruto's normal power level was too weak. Being raised in a shinobi life, he was strong for a shinobi, but in terms of people like Beerus and other god of destructions, he was tremendously weak. He will have to grow even more, otherwise he will never achieve a power that surpasses or even come anywhere close to Lord Beerus. But his body was adapting at an astonishing rate. The more he fight, the more he sparred. The more his strength increased, the more his power rose. That's enough, said Whis. As the planet stopped shaking, the destroyer and his students stopped. As Naruto was panting as Beerus looked towards him. I'm impressed. You're able to see my movement in your normal state for a few minutes before going into your Super Saiyan majestic mode. It's been only a couple of weeks and you've achieved this feat so far. I must say I'm impressed by your fast growth. It may not seem much now, however, it is impressive, Beerus said to his new student. There was something about Naruto that he found rather entertaining, as he knew once he allowed Naruto to meet Vegeta and Goku, it will push all of them. Yes, that is what Beerus was looking forward to. For them to reach a higher level, so that he can finally fight without any restrictions. He hadn't had a fight in so long, where he could fight, where they could actually make him bleed. As that was an entertaining thought. But time was needed for that, as Naruto was able to learn how to control his ki energy and turn it into a weapon. And he can also fly as well. As he started to learn how to control his majestic Super Saiyan mode, he was wearing wristbands that were weighing 5 tons. His boots also weigh 5 tons as well. Once he get used to them, Whis would increase the weights. As Naruto's stomach started to rumble, as the group started to eat, as Whis brought out the ramen that they got before they got here, it was a lot. As Naruto could already eat a whole lot, and they were no exceptions. However, Naruto was curious. So how strong are these Saiyans, Goku and Vegeta, he asks, as he slurped down the noodles. As Whis produced the image, showing Vegeta, as he explained everything. The planet that he was from, his father being the king of all Saiyans. When they first arrived on Earth, with his partner, the battle that led him and Goku to live another day, Vegeta fleeing to get stronger. After that, the androids grew in Super Saiyan form, Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, all of it up to this point. Naruto was shocked by how much these guys train. It was rather amazing to think that they pushed themselves like that all the time. He wasn't surprised that Goku was able to fight Beerus, despite Beerus not going all out. It was crazy impressive. Through the week, Whis had told him several things about the other planets' life forms and the Dragon Balls. Naruto was shocked to hear that such magical items exist to wish for whatever they asked for. As Whis was showing Naruto everything, the image then changed. What the hell is that? Said Naruto, as he saw his old comrade, Sasuke, battling Kakashi. Whis sensei, what's going on? Said Naruto, looking towards him. It seems Tsunade-sama was invited to a meeting with the other Kages, but your former friend Sasuke Uchiha attacked everyone in the meeting for unknown reasons. Naruto eyes widened hearing that. I have to get back. It's alright, said Beerus, as he had taken the role of a sensei, and he wanted to see what Naruto will be able to do in the short amount of time that he was given. As he said that he was going to save his rival, but in doing so he had to free the clutches of darkness from him. As Beerus wanted to see what Naruto would do, and how much him training him would affect what happened on his home planet. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part, and do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs on the other channels. Yes guys, I indeed have 4 of them, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and check out the brand new what ifs of the other channels and enjoy. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace out.